morning, fellow Titans. As we begin a new semester, it's important for us to break free from our routines for just a moment to remind you of two important expectations of Loudoun County Public Schools. The first one is that each school day shall begin with a minute of silence. As each of you should be aware, the Commonwealth of Virginia has established that we will begin each school day with 1 minute of silence. Accordingly, it is important that each of us understands our rights and responsibilities under this law. The words of the law say in part, in order that the right of every pupil to the free exercise of religion be guaranteed within the schools and is subject to the least possible pressure from the Commonwealth, the school board of each school division shall establish the daily observance of 1 minute of silence in each classroom. During the 1 minute period of silence, each pupil may, in the exercise of his or her individual choice, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity that does not interfere with, distract, or impede with other pupils in the exercise of their individual choice. Thank you for your attention.
As we begin another day, let us pause for a minute of silence. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also, as we begin the second semester, I want to remind you that Loudoun County Public Schools is committed to providing a safe, empathetic, respectful, and supportive learning environment in order to empower every student to make meaningful contributions to the world. When staff and students experience racial insults, slurs, and other hate speech, we lack the positive culture and climate that supports student growth. LCPS calls for all students, staff, families, and other members of our community to engage in the disruption and dismantling of white supremacy, systemic racism, and hateful language and actions based on race, religion, country of origin, gender identity, sexual orientation, and/or ability. LCPS rejects racist and other hateful behavior and languages, recognizing that it encourages discrimination, hatred, oppression, and violence. Every individual is valued in Loudoun County Public Schools. Let's celebrate the diversity that helps define us as a school division. As a matter of fact, it's a perfect day for us to engage in that celebration. Throughout the course of the month of February, Black History Month, we're going to feature, based upon the outstanding work of some of you, our students, your research into the lives of some true American heroes who also happen to be African Americans. So we're going to begin today with our first of a series of videos that will enlighten you about some American heroes you may have heard of before, and some, like today's, you probably haven't.
Lauded posthumously as a pioneer of modern sculpture in the Harlem Renaissance, Augusta Savage's artistic beginnings were anything but easy. Savage was born Augusta Christine Fells on February 2, 1882 in Green Cove Springs, Florida, the seventh of 14 children in a strictly religious family that discouraged her from creating sculptures. Not one to be deterred, Augusta used natural materials such as earth clay and was encouraged by her teachers to study art in college, attending and graduating from Cooper Union in New York City. Unfortunately, Savage was plagued by financial troubles most of her life. working as a cleaner to help fund her pursuits for commissions and gallery work in the still segregated, sexist society of the early 20th century. After her divorce from Robert Savage, Augusta moved to Florida with her daughter and won an art fair in 1919. She then left her home again to pursue a career in Harlem, creating sculpted busts of famous black leaders of the time such as W.E.B. Du Bois. Savage went on to found the Savage Studio of Arts and Crafts in 1934 in the heart of New York City, creating the Harlem Artists Guild 2 years later. Both institutions were important cultural centers for black creators, offering a space for young artists to develop their talents while becoming an important face of the growing artist movement. While offering free classes with help from the Works Progress Administration, Savage also campaigned for racial justice and incorporated themes of equality into her work. Throughout the 1930s, she traveled extensively throughout Europe on artistic scholarships, earning a Rosenwald Fellowship from her bust of her nephew titled Gay Men, noted for its humanity and expressiveness in a time where blacks were often depicted in art as subhuman or callous. Her most popular work was displayed at the 1939 New York City World Fair, with Savage being the first black woman to showcase her work there. Lift Every Voice and Sing, its title drawn from a famous gospel hymn, pioneered the use of the black form in showing dignity and spirituality. Despite her skill, however, Savage was often unable to permanently cast her sculptures in metal. Consequently, much of her work, which was in plaster, was lost or destroyed, and few pieces remain today. She went on to retire in the Catskill Mountains after decades of a complicated artistic career, finding solace in writing and spending time with her family. Today, Augusta Savage is remembered as one of the most important figures of the Harlem Renaissance, and one of the most influential black artists of the 20th century.
Thanks for your attention as we learned about the significant life of Augusta Savage Allred, an amazing artist who fueled much of the Harlem Renaissance in the last century. We want to give a shout out to some of our athletes. Lots of our athletes were in action over the weekend, and none more impressively than our gymnastics team. They competed last night at Heritage High School in the Dulles District meet, and they finished as the runner-up, their highest finish in 15 years. It was a fantastic performance by our team. What was really cool about it, while in the all-around competition, Kylie McGee finished third and Isabel Smith finished second. We had so many different athletes who made it to the podium, placing in the top 8 in their respective apparatus, including Lily Bishop, who finished 7th on the vault, and Jamie Lee, who finished 4th. On the bar, it was Kylie McGee 8th, Lindsay Miller 4th, and Isabel Smith was the district champion. On the beam, Lindsay Miller 5th, Kylie McGee 2nd, and Isabel Smith once again district champion on the beam, and Kylie McGee placed 5th on the floor. The team has now qualified for regional competition at Hanover High School coming up in a couple of weeks. We wish you every success, ladies. Congratulations on the great season you've had so far. Track and field was in action here Monday after school. Lots of outstanding performances as I was there watching. I loved watching Jackson Schuler and his teammates jump. It was fantastic to watch our athletes run, including Malik Kurtz, and really cool to, he ran a great race, and it was a great day. I got a lot more details to share with you, but I'll have to do that another time. Right now I want to talk next about wrestling team. Wrestling had a dual meet here on Monday night where they defeated Lightridge 60-18 and Rockridge 51-24. Logan Jones picked up his 100th victory of his career with a pin in the opening match of the night. Andrew Beasley, Santi Pena, George Hassaway, Jacinto Ayala, Jacob Jimenez, and Aladdin Fanui, as well as Chase Taylor, all got in the act, earning pins on the evening. It was a great night to be a Titan. Speaking of great times to be a Titan, first quarter was a great time to be a Titan for these freshmen who earned all A's on their report card. Roshni Lobo, Daniel Ramirez, Alessandro Alfaro, Sidney Green, Devin Fuller, Mimi Alcarmi, not just all A's, all A pluses, and Emma Adiakanite. Congratulations, my friends. Those were some impressive performances. Speaking of athletic competition, basketball was in action last night against Rockridge. The girls dominated the Phoenix. Freshmen won 29-13. JV 45-16, and varsity 37-23. Tonight, girls basketball continues their season hosting Independence High School in JV and varsity action. We want you to know that tomorrow morning, the Black Student Union, newly formed Black Student Union, will meet at 8:50 a.m. in 413B. If you have any questions, please see Ms. Winfrey in the school counseling office or Mr. West in the main office. That's Black Student Union tomorrow morning at 8:50. Those of you who are going to take the Science Olympiad test, the test is tomorrow, and we'll meet at 4 p.m. You'll get out of class just a little bit early from your 8th block class to come down to the Career Center where we can take the test together from 4 to 5 p.m. That's Science Olympiad test tomorrow at 4 p.m. You must be registered for it already to participate. Anime Club will meet every A-Day on Fridays, including this Friday, with a different theme. Join us this Friday after school in room 16 for a marathon of Card Captor Sakura, plus a cosplay show and tell. Bring your cosplay projects and ideas, photos from conventions, or just your curiosity. Let's see. Let's hear from our soccer program. Our men's soccer program is looking to make sure every young man in the school has the opportunity to join them for the preseason workout schedule and the tryout process, which is coming up later this month. Let's talk about their promotion. Seniors, I know you are anxious to get early release if you're still in Titan time. You've given your applications to Mrs. Mutron in the main office, and now it's time for me to review them in the context of your grades and attendance for the first semester. So I need first semester report cards to be published by Loudoun County Public Schools. Grades are not due until midnight tomorrow, so it's going to take me about a week to do that. I appreciate your patience. In the meantime, I want you to keep attending Titan Time so I can find you when it's time to tell you that your status. Titans, remember your life is a priceless treasure. Your presence here in our community, it's a gift. You are loved unconditionally. Always be truly Titan. Have a fantastic day. Go Titan.